I have two daughters that are 9 and 11 years old, and my wife and I are trying to raise them to do what's right, even when it's hard. And I must say that the example that Lauren Jean-Bell and the other two young women set that night in doing what was right and rescuing that young girl in the bedroom is something that is inspiring to women. I think that as everyone in the community, and certainly behind the bars, the community has raised concerns about the DeAnza case. Ms. Carr considers the case closed. I do not. When I'm elected district attorney, we will carefully and thoroughly review the case, examine and test all of the evidence, and consider whether to file charges. That's what the victim, the young woman who rescued her, and our entire community deserve. And that is what I will do.
I'm never going to have any fucking peace of mind.
Sam Liccardo, I'm honored to have your support as well. You've been a tremendous community and public servant for this valley.
That's our boy Sam.
Rosen, and I'm running for district attorney because I am passionate about justice, about pursuing justice in a way that is fair, in a way that treats everyone equally and with respect. I'm so honored to have the broad support I have in this race between Congresswoman Rosen, City Councilman Sam Liccardo, entire district attorney George Kennedy, every major newspaper that's goes through this race, elected officials up and down the county. More prosecutors are endorsing me in the district attorney's office, the current DA, and more public defenders as well. And the question is why? It's because I'm experienced, tough, and fair. I've been a prosecutor for 15 years, and I'm tough. I've prosecuted the most difficult, complex, and high-profile cases in this county, including rape, child molestation, and murder. I have an outstanding conviction rate, and I'm proud of that. But I'm also fair, and I'm proud of the cases that I reduced and the cases that I dismissed, the cases where I believe that it was in the interest of justice to dismiss the murder charge, to reduce the charges, or to give less than the maximum amount of time. Justice is not just about permanent convictions, it's about doing what's right. We need change. We need change. And we're hearing that from all across the community. And that's probably
Do you hear that, Sam Liccardo? We need change.
Bar Association's #1 overwhelming endorsement of me to be the district attorney, and also for the first time in history, the Santa Clara County Bar Association voted the city district attorney not qualified. So what's my vision of justice? As Congresswoman Liccardo pointed out, I want to bring back the cold case unit to look at the over 300 unsolved murder cases that we have in this county. I've prosecuted old murder cases, and I know the closure that brings to victims' families and the sense of relief that it brings to the community to not have murderers walking amongst us. Just as importantly, I want us to have a conviction integrity unit to look at our old convictions and make sure that they are solid and appropriate. A prosecutor's job, a prosecutor's duty is to seek justice, and if some of those old convictions we have are not appropriate, I want to know about that. I want to dismiss, and defense attorneys have all that they're entitled to. Trials must be fair, and I have a more open approach to officer-involved shootings. The public has a right to know what happened and why when an officer of the state uses force and kills someone. I'm so honored to have all Currently in our county, we have a crime lab that is accredited, as Ms. Carr said. It's a crime lab that recently moved into a new state-of-the-art building. That was a project that George Kennedy had worked on for many years to get us a state-of-the-art crime lab. And it was under his leadership that the crime lab was brought under the jurisdiction of the district attorney's office, which is very important. In terms of investigating when there's potential wrongdoing in the crime lab at the district attorney's office, we did have a situation in our county a couple of years ago when Ms. Carr was the DA, where there were some allegations of problems in the crime lab, and instead
instead of having an outside agency come in and investigate, she had that done internally. That's actually a decision that was criticized, not just here in San Jose, but actually nationally in Congress as well. There was testimony about that issue. So if there's wrongdoing in the crime lab, certainly that's something I'm going to take incredibly seriously. That's why, in many respects, I want to have a conviction integrity unit, because I want to make sure our convictions are solid and appropriate. And if we need to bring in outside people to investigate the crime lab, that's something that I'll do, because I want to make sure that everything is done clean and by the book.